Jesus Christ is running for president in 2020. What are some of the highlights of his campaign? Clearing out the corruption. In 32 AD he was flipping tables in the temple and beating the money changers with a cattle whip to clean his father's house. Can't wait to see what he does with the senators. A cattle whip he sat down and made himself by hand. I'd like to picture Jesus braiding away, muttering about the money changers, while the apostles all kind of stand around nervously, exchanging glances and wondering what the hell he's up to this time. Money changers, oh, you're approaching me? Jesus, I can't beat the shit out of you without getting closer. Fundraising dinner for thousands of people. Food budget, $5 worth of loaves and fishes. This just in, Panera backs Jesus campaign. Yeah, but the only thing you can get for $5 in Panera is a cup of water and to be mocked by the staff. A cup of water, oh, do you mean an unlimited supply of wine? Jesus only duplicates food, he converts the water. So now you have a glass of wine more expensive than 2 bottles from Trader Joe's. It's bloody good wine, though. I see what you did there. He sipped his wine. He frowned a bit. He raised his glass, and looked at it. He pursed his lips, as well he should. He sipped again. He said, "It's blood." Free healthcare. He'll personally heal you in a matter of seconds. Also free alcohol. He'll turn all water into wine and the nation will suddenly be in dire need of his healthcare plan. Edit, a word. He has my vote. Elect me, or I'm going to tell Dad. Oh my dad, you can't be serious, America? This is the candidate you have running against me? Let me tell you, I let one Judas get the better of me, this one I wouldn't even break bread with. Pretty sure the first time we met was after a long stint in the desert I had. Didn't listen to him then, won't now either, thank Dad. Edit, 40 days of desserts isn't quite as daunting, I guess. No more unsafe drinking water. All reservoirs are now filled with clean, safe to drink wine and everyone can be drunk all the time. He just got Flint's vote. I don't think he'd run for president, but people would assume he was. And then murder him. I'm not sure Jesus would live long in America. Don't worry. He'll be back in 3 days. Jesus Christ, dude, you look like you've seen a ghost. It wouldn't take long for people to catch on that dude can die and then regenerate. If Jesus Christ were in America, he'd definitely be on some TV show. Some Chris Angel shit. He turned the Great Lakes into wine and threw a lit-ass rally. He'd never make it past the primaries. He's a brown-skinned Middle Eastern socialist that favors open borders and dismisses the rich. The left don't want someone so openly religious. The right don't want someone who would support social welfare or disruption of corporations. Nobody wants to be a libertarian candidate, so Jesus doesn't even try that. Sorry Jesus, but you're just a fringe candidate. Idaho might elect you as a local city council member or something. I'd think that if the actual Son of God showed up and started doing a bunch of miracles, the left, and the right, would be perfectly fine with an openly religious candidate who indisputably proves his religion is correct. I would also hope there would be some rather pointed questions during debates about why his dad is such a dick. The left, and the right, would be perfectly fine with an openly religious candidate who indisputably proves his religion is correct. That candidate would be assassinated by a fringe zealot so fast it'd make your head spin. Yeah, but he'd just come back to life 3 days later. The USA invades Israel and makes it the 51st state of America to fulfill the natural-born citizen clause for Jesus. Pledges extra money for education in skilled trades such as carpentry, gives speech how he wants to run the country so well he ends up being bigger than the Beatles, debates the death penalty and states how much he hates it, makes it clear the fact it still exists in such a developed nation makes him really cross, controversially chooses Judas to be his vice president is Hess more trustworthy than any politician Hess ever met. The USA invades Israel and makes it the 51st state of America to fulfill the natural-born citizen clause for Jesus. Shit, now I'm wondering if that for real counts. I think it has to be a state at the time of your birth. However, if you were born before the Constitution was written, which Jesus was, you are by default eligible if you meet the age and residency requirements. Which Jesus was, I laughed too hard at that. He loses to Donald Trump. Highlights include Trump calling him an imposter and insulting him personally with third-grade humor, which makes the MAGA crowd go wild. Jesus reiterating what he said about rich assholes not entering heaven, and virtually everyone in the audience using mental gymnastics to find a way in which Jesus somehow did not say the thing he said. A second time, thousands of years later, Jesus pointing to a child as an example of how naturally loving our neighbor comes to us, and then Trump making fun of both the child and Jesus, to more cheers from the sea of red hats, and Jesus getting crucified for a second time, this time by Christians who say they'd rather follow Donald off a moral cliff like lemmings than do what they know is the right thing and call his behavior childish, embarrassing, and unpresidential and vote for anyone else. Among the many scandals that arise during his campaign, 1. Questions about his parentage. 2. Allegations that he is a secret Muslim and attended a madrasa in Egypt as a child. 3. Sinister connections to radical left-wing preacher John the Baptist. 4. Further radicalization during 40-day solo trip to the desert in Palestine. 5. Suspected alcoholism. 6. Free loaves and fishes policy. 7. Anti-rich propaganda recorded during his Sermon on the Mount. 8. Anti-family message, demands devotion by followers and hatred of father, and mother, and wife, and children, and brethren, and sisters, yea, and his own life also. 9. Arrogance, thinks he walks on water. 10. Arguments against established moral law and order of the Pharisees. 11. Consorting with prostitutes, loose women, and illegal immigrants. 12. Destruction of small money-changing businesses employing hundreds of hardworking Jerusalemites. 13. Cannibalism. 14. Involvement in Marxist communes in which all private property was abolished and goods were distributed according to each member's needs. Donald Trump runs on a platform of supporting religious freedom for true Christians against Jesus's socialist Muslim-Jewish agenda and wins every state, only losing the District of Columbia. Edit, I totally forgot about the pedophilia allegations. We're definitely going to see more birth certificate drama. He'd have separate campaign platforms for each state. Massachusetts will officially appoint Tom Brady as one of his apostles. Texas, it is now canon that Jesus was nailed to a field goal post instead of a crucifix. West Virginia will make Take Me Home Country Roads an official hymn. Louisiana will hold a Last Supper for the entire state, which is just a large crawfish boil. Nevada, offer to take the aliens in Area 51 back home. California, will use his carpentry skills to build many houses, thus ending the housing crisis. Florida, he'll turn water into Four Loko laced with meth. Michigan, will turn Flint water into Faygo. Reformatted since this is great but unreadable. Massachusetts, will officially appoint Tom Brady as one of his apostles. Texas, it is now canon that Jesus was nailed to a field goal post instead of a crucifix. West Virginia, will make Take Me Home Country Roads an official hymn. Louisiana, will hold a Last Supper for the entire state, which is just a large crawfish boil. Nevada, offer to take the aliens in Area 51 back home. California, will use his carpentry skills to build many houses, thus ending the housing crisis. Florida, he'll turn water into Four Loko laced with meth. Michigan, will turn Flint water into Faygo. Doing the Lord's work. Trump constantly calling him Dirty Sandals Christ and then claiming that his birth certificate was fake. Anyone else hear this play out in the Arrested Development prison? Lord Jesus Christ can't walk on water with such dirty sandals. Hey guys. Lord Jesus Christ has dirty sandals. Dirty Sandals Christ. Karen, what is your view on the anti-vaccine movement? JC, it's utterly ridiculous and should be abandoned. Get your vaccinations. Karen, damn, the pro-vax movement has really gone far. They even got to you? Sad to be honest. The only gun that needs to be banned is the nail gun. Losing the evangelical Christian vote to Trump. He promises to feed the poor with a literal unlimited supply of fish. Republicans hate the fish tax on the wealthy, even though it doesn't exist. Democrats hate the rampant overfishing of the world's oceans, even though he's literally turning small piles of wheat into mountains of free fish. He loses in the primaries. Getting called an anti-Semite by the media for being against Israel's activities of late. He turns the Capitol reflecting pool to wine after walking across it giving a speech. If Jesus was running for president in 2020, I'd drop everything and go to church. All who oppose have the water in their bodies instantly turn to wine. Being a non-USA born candidate plus from the Middle East would be even more groundbreaking than him being literally Jesus. He does a fundraising dinner, does his fish and wine trick, but then the vegans and PETA come and protest him. Make heaven great again. Build the pearly gates.